use your God power to get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. Every element has unlimited possible outcomes and results. Let's take a closer look at how it is possible to elicit different outcomes or results from the same element depending on your meaning of the situation. It doesn't matter if the element is in the now or present or in the past or future. It still has unlimited possible outcomes for you that can range from very good to very bad. If we were to magnify a few of those elements from the last illustration, we could see inside them to see some of the possible outcomes that are available. In the illustration below, each element of the situation or the event is showing only 7 to 8 possibilities each because it would have been more difficult to show all of the infinite possibilities that are actually available to you. Okay, let's have a look at this illustration here. It says, every element of a situation has many possible outcomes or results. Okay, now, in the last illustration, we saw the elements, and all we could see was a green arrow coming from the element and a red arrow coming from the element, showing that there was a good result being elicited from it or a bad result being elicited from it. But we really didn't get to see, in graphic form, that there really is a lot of different possibilities within that element that can be elicited. So here, we magnify those elements and look inside, and sure enough, look at that. Each of those elements, whether they're elements from the past or the present or the future, doesn't matter. They're elements of a situation, and inside them we see a bunch of little green tuning forks and little red tuning forks. Now that represents the many possible good benefits of that element and many possible bad benefits. Some are really, really, really good, and some are just sort of good. Others are kind of bad, and others are very, very bad. Anything is possible from that. And here we see somebody who, on the left side, has got a green tuning fork, and they're obviously activating it and eliciting a positive response. Now, in the prior illustration, it was only just a positive response or just positive situation being elicited or just a negative situation being elicited. But in this illustration, we're a whole lot more specific because here, we're going to start here on the left with the green. The guy's got a certain meaning, a particular meaning. Now we see that each of these three elements has many different possible good benefits, good outcomes, good results. And we can see that because there's a lot of green tuning forks in each one of the elements. But notice, if you look very closely in the elements, you'll see that there is only one green tuning fork that's vibrating. The other green tuning forks are not. And the reason they are not, even though they're good outcomes and they're good results, they're not the good result or the good outcome that matches that meaning. So we see that you're eliciting the specific good result, the exact good outcome for that particular meaning. Now, In addition to eliciting a specific outcome from a particular element, there's a much more intelligent mechanism in play here, because the other elements come into play, and depending on what other elements are available and what you're eliciting from them also has a bearing on which particular outcomes you're going to get from each element. So it's a combination. If the other element at the top here, the square element, had been a little different, and you elicited something a little different from it, the corresponding good outcome from the round element or the triangle element might have been a little different. It might have been one of the other green tuning forks. We don't know. But what we do know is every element has got a lot of possibilities within it that can be elicited. Let's take a look at what it says here. On the green side, it says, good meanings create positive vibrations and elicit positive results from the elements. But it also says, notice that only one positive result from each element matches this specific positive meaning. That means that only one of them is the right one. It's good. There's a lot of good ones. But there's only one good one that's the right one that matches that meaning. Same on the negative side. The guy's eliciting a negative response. Here it says, on the negative side, in red, it says, bad meanings create negative vibrations and elicit negative results from the elements. Okay? Now that was where we were at with the prior illustration. We were eliciting a negative result. But on this illustration, we can see that it is a specific negative result from among many that were possible. Lower down below that, it says, notice that only one negative result from each element matches this specific negative meaning. So once again, not only are we eliciting a negative result or a positive result, but it's a specific negative result or a specific positive result. Here underneath here it says, notice that every element has many different possible positive results and many different possible negative results. The observer has the ability to assert many different positive meanings or many different negative meanings. When you use your God power to assert a specific meaning, good or bad, resonance will elicit the most appropriate response from each element that corresponds exactly with your specific meaning. Only one exact frequency or tuning fork response or result, good or bad, is vibrating and responding to resonance for that certain meaning. The one that is a match, quote unquote, is the only one that responds. Note also that these elements could be in the present or the past or even the future. If it is from your past, it could be certain memories or people or knowledge is being elicited into action. If it is in your future, it could be certain coming events are forming, good or bad. You have an unlimited number of elements possible with an unlimited number of possible outcomes for each element. So, if you have an unlimited number of elements and an unlimited number of outcomes for each element, doesn't that correspond very nicely with any outcome is possible? You can elicit any kind of an outcome, and it all is based on meaning. Whatever the meaning of the situation is, now the meaning of the situation is what you give it. Whatever meaning you give the situation is what you're going to get from it. Okay, let's see what else it says here. As you can see in the illustration above, every element has the possibility of becoming good in an infinite number of ways or turning out bad in an infinite number of ways. Notice that for the good eliciting meaning and the bad eliciting meaning, there is only one outcome in each element that is actually resonating with that specific meaning, even though there are many other good and bad possible outcomes that could be activated from these same elements. What this means is that you not only need to assert a good meaning in the particular situation or event, but you also need to make your meaning as relevant to your goals as possible. An example, when the doctor gave you the placebo pill, he didn't just say, "This is good medicine that will help you." He said it was a miracle cure. While the meaning of good medicine that will help you is a good meaning and will elicit beneficial outcomes, the meaning of a miracle cure will elicit absolute and complete healing. Different meanings elicit different results, even if they are both good meanings or bad.
Options. Now activating the next video, play options. 1 moment please. Click on the green arrow to start watching the next video. Or, click on the red arrow to start watching the prior video. Or, click on the tan arrow to go to the main course menu and guide, with links to all course chapters, excerpts, and special reports. Up next, special video options. Click on your choice of course videos, menus, and excerpts. Now switching to the special video options menu and activating the video selection buttons. Click on your selection number to start watching the video. "15 seconds till we switch to the next page with the free download information. Pause the video now if you need more time to review the available selections." This is the end of this course video. Its video number is listed above. To watch the next video, simply click on the next video in number sequence. Thank you.